Welcome everyone to our special business talk show TaliKhata, sponsored by Islami Bank Bangladesh Limited. I am Arifur Rahman with you. Today I have two very special guests with us from Denmark. They have been importing bicycle from Bangladesh and re-exporting to all over European market. They don't limit their tie with Bangladesh by only business, rather conducting large-scale corporate social activities. Dear audience, meet our guest, Ms. Annie Roest, CEO, Fair Group, and Henrik Bach, Development International Relation, B Fair Group. Welcome to your studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dear audience, today we'll be talking about B Fair Group journey with Bangladesh. So far I know you have started your journey back in 2011 with music school, right?
Yes, I started here back in 2011 with music schools in Dinersburg, where we made 4 music schools for children up there. Yeah.
So why do you choose Bangladesh and why do you choose music school? Anyone can.
I'm a musician, actually. I'm a musician, so this was very natural for me when I was asked for a Danish-Swedish NGO to start in Bangladesh with a project. I thought it could be interesting to work with the music, to use the music as a tool for learning, for teaching the children different things, different skills. Yeah.
Till date, how many you have been teaching in your school?
The NGO that we work with, they have 55 schools in Bangladesh, mainly up north of Bangladesh in Dinersburg. And we established 4 schools out of the 55 schools for the music school. And then later, with our bike project, we are supporting 2 schools at the moment. Yeah.
What kind of music you teach your student? I mean, Western or Bangladeshi?
Yeah,
local?
it's a very good question because it was what we was thinking, what we should do, and we thought it would be very clever to use the local music. So we are having some inspiration from the Baul music and combining it with the Western music, and because it should be something that the children could recognize on the school. So this was what we did.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Roest. I want to hear from you.
Yes.
Later on, you moved to bicycle project. Why and why Bangladesh?
Well, actually, Henrik and I, we met around 2014, 15. And Henrik, he was so fond of Bangladesh. And it was very inspiring for me. So we agreed that we were going to start the bicycle project. Well, we had a Danish designer helping us, a very known Danish designer helping us, Tobias Jacobsen. He designed this bicycle. We came here and had some prototypes made, did all the developing part, and so we kept contact with the NGO that Henrik, he worked for at that time. And little by little, it just accelerated until what it is today.
You're fashion designer in person, and
yes.
you involved with bicycle.
Yes, and developing, and of course we also do some. I'm very inspired by the Bangladeshi people and all the handicraft. You have very, very good skills in handicraft. So for me, it's also inspiring from my design heart, being a girl, seeing all these beautiful colors and things. It's very inspiring for me to be here in Bangladesh, actually. So I do a little silk, some bags and some other products, as well as the bicycles, yes.
Henrik, you said that you are very much fond of Bangladesh. Why? What makes you so much fond of Bangladesh?
Yeah, I will try to do it short, but my sister worked in India and lived in India for some years as a designer, and I visited India. And when I saw the children living on the streets, I thought it would be, one day it would be a good thing for me to start doing a job there. And then suddenly somebody asked me, could you go to Bangladesh? And I said, Bangladesh, India, same, has been before, I know. Today is another country, I know. And then I said, yes, immediately, I will do that. So, but it started actually in India, because like I saw the children on the street there, so I thought one day I would like to do some work. And I'm a musician, and I thought also I could use my music doing something. And
so it's been almost 9 years.
Yeah.
You have been in Bangladesh.
Yeah, you're right.
How do you evaluate your whole journey?
I have to say that we are learning day by day. Annie and I also often talked about that we learn a lot not only about our project, but also how to act. When we come back home, we have really so many good things from your country. So we see that day by day that we also can learn something from you. And we are incorporate that in our work back in Denmark also. So we bring something from your culture back to Denmark also. And we know we can also give something here, yes. And today, I mean, the last 9 years I have been here, I've seen exploding development in your country. It's fantastic to see. I mean, even the bikes, there's more people biking on the street today than for 9 years ago. It's fantastic to see this. So many good things is happening. So we are very proud to be a part of that.
Okay, coming back to you, Annie Roest. You have been importing bicycle, and you have the manufacturing facilities in collaboration with a local manufacturer. And I don't know whether you know that Bangladesh is third largest bicycle exporter to Europe. And what makes you enthusiastic to import bicycle from Bangladesh?
What? Sorry, what was the question?
What makes you interested to import bicycle from Bangladesh?
I think, you know, when you come here as a foreigner, you see your country developing. And I think that seeing how hard you work to get to the next level is it's very inspiring, but it's also, it makes like me want to be a part of it. We talked about that so many times. This is worth being a part of, and I think it gives me a instant feeling as doing a difference in that developing part of, how can I explain that? So most of all, I think that the bicycle, first of all, you make very, very good quality bicycles. So for us, it's a good way to make good quality for our European standard. And also, I see that when we come here and bring some engineers or technicians, it's a mutual learning. You learn, we learn. It's a very, very nice process, actually.
Okay, so before you start importing from Bangladesh, did you have another sourcing country? Or
No.
So Bangladesh is the very first country, right?
We only produce bicycles here in Bangladesh, yes.
Okay, now you are currently on a visit, and probably you have or you had a meeting with JDPC, Youth Diversification Promotion Center. So what kind of result you want to have from this meeting, or what kind of output?
Also, we had a very good meeting, actually, and I would like, in cooperation, to do some kind of workshop for
Here.
At JDPC. That's and we were talking about making a workshop and have all the local small handicrafts, so that we could make like a studio in design, and I can come with my ideas, they come with all their skills, and I think when we mix the design and the very good skills as all of them actually have, that makes some very nice products. With jute, with all the small, they have actually a huge range of products, what do you call that? Oh, hvad hedder de her resources, actually, yeah.
So when we're talking about foreign direct investment, many foreign investors talking about the obstacle investing in Bangladesh. What do you feel? Anyone can answer me.
Yeah. You're thinking of if there should be some kind of like obstacles, some problems during the. There will always be ups and downs in going somewhere. We will always. Some days we think, oh, this is very difficult, because You think there's a huge gap between our two cultures? So we have a different culture in Denmark, but mostly we actually meet very positive people, very positive results from. There will always be some bumps on the road, but no, I think it's if I should see any obstacles, something, I don't know.
Of course, there's always something, especially when you start up something new. We also have to learn every day about how to cooperate with a new country and doing a new design and new products, and how do we do that, and how is the understanding between a factory and us and stuff like that. So, so of course, this there can be something in the beginning, but in the end of the day, we always find a solution how we can go further from there.
There has been a little
It's like
gap
it's
too.
all the same thing in our own country. I mean, it's not only because we're in Bangladesh. In our own country, we also see a challenge like that if we start something up. I think it's very normal all over.
Okay, we'll be talking about a lot of issues later, but let me take a break now.
Yes.
Sure.
Dear audience, we'll come back after a short break. Be with us. Welcome back to our special TaliKhata, talking to guests from Denmark, Annie Roest and Henrik Bach from Be Fair Group. Now we want to know what kind of potential you feel in Bangladesh and what are the obstacles, what are the problems you have been facing in Bangladesh? Anyone?
There's a lot of things we have to pay cash, and it's not always possible, you know. So
why do you have to pay cash?
Oh, but many small things as a company, you know, it's not easy to withdraw money from the banks. It's such a silly, small thing. So it's not a problem. But sometimes, you know, we have to say, okay, we have to pay many small things just during the day and things like that. In Denmark, we can always, you know, there's only card.
Plastic money.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
transfer
yes.
it from bank to bank. I love that.
And for instance, if we buy something here, transferring money from Denmark here, I think it's not always so easy for the Bangladeshi people to receive. So there can
That
be
could be a
some,
challenge. It could be a challenge sometimes.
it takes 10 days or some days, and then if we make the whole bank, you know, you fill out all the forms, and then maybe you don't give the right. We do give the right information, but maybe the bank in Bangladesh needs some other information so that the company can receive the money, all things like that. There is still, there we can feel a difference between Bangladesh and maybe another European country, but it's not a problem, it's just a challenge. Yeah.
So, okay, Henrik, Denmark is the #1 country in terms of users of bicycles. So, do you have any plan to set up a manufacturing plant here?
Not right now, no, but we would like to encourage the local people here to bike, maybe in the way that we do in Denmark and Copenhagen. So we have planned to maybe if we could open a training center, a training area. It could be in Gothenburg. We talked about that, where people could come have training in how to bike, because to bike is there's a big responsibility for themselves when they bike. I mean, we see that BD cyclists in your country here, they do a really good job. We have been following them for years, and they are encouraged the bikers to use helmet and many other good things for the security. But you can see many people are biking around, and it's very dangerous. So we would like to maybe doing a project where we could cheat the way that we do it in Copenhagen, the Danish way.
But did you figure out the problems in Bangladesh? So for the roads are not perfect for biking, and there are many lots of problems.
Yeah, if you look in the city of Dhaka, it's of course a big problem because the traffic is so big. But if you get a little out of Dhaka, there's many places you could bike without any problem, as far as I see. But for years back in Copenhagen was not like that either. We also had problems with biking in the city because we didn't have any lanes for bikes. Today we are very much focused on having lanes all over Copenhagen. So it's a matter of mindset. And I think
Mindset of whom? User or government or policymaker?
Government, mainly the government. So the Danish government took a decision that bikes should be very important in our country. You can even see our prime minister going back and forth for work on his bike. You don't see that in your country for security reasons, I know that. But one day maybe you will see businessmen doing that also. I know some businessmen do it already. Yeah. They jump on the bike, and it's much easier to get through the traffic in Dhaka on a bike than sitting in a car. I know the climate gives some challenge also because it's very hot to bike here. But I'm 100% sure that Bangladesh will change their mindset in that matter also. And the global warming and the CO2 problems and stuff like that is also an issue. So we have to think that way anyway. We have to change out many cars for bicycles also. We have to do it. So the whole green energy thing I'm sure it's also going to be happening here in your country.
We already now see that bikes are increasing here in Bangladesh. From the 5 years that I've been going here, more and more bikes are coming, and definitely for the environment, for your own health and well-being, and it's fun to bike, even to go around the lakes. And in Dhaka there are some bike lanes that you can actually go and have fun with your friends and going to school within the university areas and things like that in Dhaka. But outside of Dhaka, we have seen many places. Khulna, we've been there, and there is many possibilities of
You
bikes.
have covered almost all the country.
Yeah, Khulna is a good example because it's a more open area and it will not be the same problem down there. So you have many other places than Dhaka you could bike and also start to incorporate that. I think.
Okay, before I forget, let me ask a question. You claim that your bikes are environment friendly. Why? What makes it environment friendly?
I mean, only that you are biking is it environment friendly,
Yes.
without any motor. So this
Okay.
is a very obvious.
You are claiming that your bike. I mean, Beefear Group's
Yeah,
bike
okay, in that
are
way. Okay, then
environment-friendly.
let me explain. We are using leather from your country. And you know, a lot of the leather that's tanned in your country is, they use chrome on that. But the Bangla company that we work with right now, they making the leather in organic, tanning in an organic way. So this is one thing we can tell you that it's made in another way. So this is friendly for the environment, you can say so, because the chrome is bad. And so that part of the bike, we have leather grips here, we have leather mud guards on our bike and so on. And you will find other things in the bike also. We have a piece of wood, thick wood from here also in our bike also.
Okay, I want to hear from Roest. Do you have any time frame? Henrik Bach said about that training center. Do you have the time frame to implement your plan?
Oh, yes, but it comes in steps.
Yes.
So I think we will, within this year, have new bikes on the market here in Bangladesh, and we will, within the next 3 years, we are going to hopefully see the first bike lanes in some small area. That's our goal. We really want that to succeed. And I think a lot of Bangladeshi people would like to have that as just like a pilot project in a small city would be really, really nice, yes.
But do you feel that kind of government support probably you may need some kind of government support to implement your plan?
Yes.
What kind of support you may feel that you may need? What kind of support you may need?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the interest and that the government can see that this is only benefit for the whole country. And I think that things are turning around, that the government starts seeing all the benefits there are with the environment. Traffic jam, you have huge traffic jam. We also end up in traffic jam every day here, and I can see that they start putting traffic lights, and the infrastructure will be it would be lighter for the whole infrastructure if you start making all these bikes, seeing them as a possibility of making the whole traffic easier, and actually also health, environment, green energy. There's so many good things with biking.
It's time for another break.
Yes.
Audience, another break for a while. You are watching special business show TaliKhata. We have two special guests, Miss Annie Roest and Henrik Bach from Denmark. Welcome back to our special TaliKhata. We are talking to guests from Denmark. Henrik, you have been conducting a lot of large-scale CSR activities in Bangladesh. What kind of CSR activities you prefer?
When we started in Bangladesh to implement the first project, it was very important for us to check how is the climate here CSR-wise, because you have to understand, even in our own country, we can find companies that's not living up to the standard. So I think that is also a matter of understanding. Before I went into working with business like that, I did not know much about CSR. Corporate social responsibility was a new word for me. So, and there's many levels you should work with, and human rights and so on. So what we did, we asked the Danish embassy to support us with that when we started in Bangladesh. And the Danida also donated some money to us to make a report, a CSR report on the first factory that we started with. And it turned out to be very interesting, because we was very surprised to see how well it was functioned, because we thought there would be many points that we have to mention for the company, but we were surprised to see that they were quite far with the understanding of how to work with CSR. It means like treating women in the same level as men. It was a matter of giving many of the same rights, and also respecting the individual persons on the factory. There's many things that was very surprising for us to see that they were very far. But there was also small things that we saw after the report we got from the Danish embassy, because the Danish embassy, they sent 3 people for the factory to check how is everything going. So there were small things like the sign to if there was fire was too high,
Exit
and
fire,
put a little down, and the small things. And then there was one thing that there was 8 box. You know, if somebody got hurt on the factory, they could go and get some for helping the situation. It was locked. There was a lock on. And then we asked, how do you get that if emergency happens? And who has the key for the lock? And they was running around. They could not find the person who had the key. Small things like that, you know. But it's very, very important, because it's also kind of CSR, because it's effect on the employees, of course. But we were very happy to see that they were very far. I'm sure you could find other places that maybe they didn't have the same kind of understanding. And as I told you before, even in our country, you can find places that we don't really understand how to do it. So we are also learning, you know, how to work with CSR, and we're very happy to have that report, because it gave us a better understanding about. I can give you an example that there was no bathroom for the women. And this is
really?
There was no separate. It was the same. So we said, this is not okay. We have to have separate. They have to have their own bathrooms. So it's small things, but quite important, you can say so. So it was like they had to use the same bathroom as the men. So in our part of the world, it's also quite important, you know, to respect that. So there's many levels that you know you should learn. But again, we are.
So you had to work on complaint issues also.
Yeah, but I mean, we had
factory complaints.
Yeah,
right?
we had maybe only 8 points or something like that, not much, comparing what it could be. I tell you, if you go to Copenhagen, you could find.
No, are you
even
satisfied
more.
with the compliance standard of the factory?
Yeah. And they were also very serious about it. They went back and they said, yes, of course, this we will change. Yeah,
Okay.
no problem. Yeah.
Roest, this has been 9 years. You have been conducting business and CSR. What kind of reflection you have got in local livelihood? You are working on them.
So you mean the local workers here in Bangladesh or the
No.
businesses?
The beneficiary of your CSR.
Oh, yes. We see that actually no matter where we come, and there, like 9 years ago, more often we saw child labor, which was not so good, and that's not good. We, of course, as a CSR person and humanitarian, that's one of the things that we cannot accept. So we would like all children to go to school, because the first way out of poverty is education. So pretty much we meet very positive, we have very positive reactions from the local people. Where we go and visit the schools, we have very positive reactions from actually all the communities of the small societies. They all want to go to school, they all want education. Just 5 years ago, there were some children, they didn't want to go to school because they didn't have 2 dresses, like a very small thing, because they need 1 dress to go to school and then 1 dress to be at home, right? So small things that we could do just by giving some children extra clothes, or small things. Even if we just bring for the school area, we can go there and sing songs with them. We can go there and give them some small candy or things like that. And very fast, you can actually see that they feel that there is hope, that, hey, it's my turn to go to school, or even the parents. And so we have very positive reaction when we come to different local areas. We do.
Okay, what's your future expectation? What kind of Bangladesh you want to see in future?
Oh my God, you have such a beautiful country, and you're developing very, very fast. And I hope that very soon that Bangladesh will be for the rest of the world. I think that Bangladesh will be as forbillede. How do you say that?
Yeah, there would be a front runner.
Yeah, front runner. I see Bangladesh as a front runner. Really, you work hard, all of you. There is a lot of. I see Bangladesh as being extremely powerful, actually, already now. And that's mainly because of the development. We go to many business meetings and communities with, even in Denmark, with the embassy and also here. And a lot of very big companies from abroad wants to do business with Bangladesh. It's not always that easy. There might be some challenges, as we talked about, but and that could be windmills, that could be into environmental things, health things. So I see Bangladesh as a front runner and a very strong country, actually. So.
But you know, the ready-made garments is the largest exporter in Bangladesh,
Yes.
and the entrepreneurs have been claiming that Bangladesh has been suffering from negative image to outside world. So in Denmark, what kind of image Bangladesh does have?
Of course, it's the same. Of course, we also know that, and we are aware of that. But at the same time, we see a development. We see that there's a changing going on. And when you see that, then we have to be positive. We have to also push in that direction and support Bangladesh, because Bangladesh we also have to understand, since 1971, is not far away. I mean, I got my first guitar when I was at that age in 71. So for me, I remember when your country, I was very young at that time, but I remember when it started. So you are a very young country. So everybody have to learn that, and everybody have to understand that Bangladesh is still a baby.
Okay.
Bangladesh is still a baby, but really improving. And when we go here, often month by month we can see new things here. Many of the bridges I see here I didn't see 4 years ago, and we even talked about this time that you have a new program cleaning up the city. I mean, many of the lanes is very clean comparing to before. So we also see that many things is improving, and we will definitely encourage Europe to invest in Bangladesh, because Bangladesh is moving. Bangladesh is moving for sure.
The garments industry had some accidents, which was not.
But we now have the safest garments.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I want to say. And again, there were some bad things happening, and you learn very, very fast. You see, okay, this is not the way to do it. New engineer comes in, you build new factories which are up to standard, European Western standard, and now you have the safest, and that's exactly so. Everybody learn from mistakes or bad things, and I think that garments industry are growing here as well, or at least it's really, really big. Yes.
Okay, Annie Roest and Henrik Bach, we have to end up now, and thanks for sharing your experience. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Dear audience, so this is all about today's special episode of our regular program TaliKhata. We will appear before you with another guest to our program in another day. Thank you for being with us.